Come on in, hit the like button, think about subscribing if you're already new here. Welcome to the channel, but most importantly, welcome to the Viking family. So this is my personal opinion to the 2025 very released film that I've been patiently waiting and irritatingly waiting for to come digital. They decided it was doing so good that they would give it another extra some more time to be in the theaters and consider to compared to the whole 2 week or a month whole thing and then release it on digital like they usually do, which can be debated if that's good or not. But this is the 2024 horror film called Sinners, starring Jordan B. Okay, I forgot his name. You'll see who it is. But here's the plot, anyways. Trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their Mississippi hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. Now here's the cast. I honestly actually really like this a lot. I honestly didn't know what to expect as I went in blind as much as I could and wasn't disappointed. I didn't even watch the trailers, even though they constantly went on and on every time I would go to the movie theater, like 4 different times. I had to close my eyes, and it's one of those films that I do mind getting some spoiled from the trailer. I was very hyped for this. I heard so many good review or some people raving about this. I will say it's a little bit overhyped, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not by much, by the way. The story felt fresh and of an idea for a vampire film, in my opinion. Also would describe the horror theme to this would be vampire horror and religion mixed in. A little bit of history and type of cultureness to it. All wrapped up with the 1930s Southern black culture with the history of blues and folk music. Definitely some little bit of Asian in there, kind of thrown in there, and then there's some, I guess you could say, some whiteness in there of culture. It's the 1930s. I'm not going to get into it. Let's just say they're in America. It's a bit dark of a history, especially when it's after a certain amount of time, after a certain amount of 4 years of something horrible happened. So, it is. It is what it is. But the acting was really good, even from Michael B. Jordan, who I was trying to pronounce his name earlier, and I just left me. He played the two twins. Him and the director did such a fantastic job with how well they blended the interactions of the two characters on screen. I would also shout out the editing people, but I would also like to shout out the people who don't get much credit still these days. We're getting a little bit into there, but it's the stunt actors, but also in this case the whole double actors, or whatever we call them. Because obviously they put him in certain scenes. They're going to have to put him in there and then put over his face with a CGI. But I didn't see anything like that, to be honest. I saw. I think it's because of how you master the cornering of the camera, and I know I mentioned that wrong, but whatever. For me, the huge standout was how smooth the cinematography was throughout. Camera and editing done correctly is great, and even in this fancy way, including the slight glowing of the eyes. Again, in editing, that was like about the only CGI that I even really saw when it came to in general. I think a lot of it was done on sets though, and it's just, I'm sure there's some CGI because there was a guy flying at one point. But yeah, I mean, it was really good. Now, I will say this is not like action, like packed, not really action packed, but more of the, again, the full on, like, keep you on your toes. It's this very, a feeling of eeriness, horror with gore, and it's this, a little bit of kind of unnecessary, in my opinion, sexualness of it. There was quite a bit of that, and they were like not, you know, shy about it, even though they didn't really show any nudity. But yeah, it's definitely not your typical horror film. As that being said, here's my rating on Clock, my very final thoughts. Again, in my opinion, it didn't feel like they was trying to be part of the modern, over-the-top, uh, just for scare style of horror, which again is super refreshing. I definitely recommend this film. I can see this winning awards. Now, from my understanding, the director behind this was the director of the first Black Panther, of Marvel film, and Creed. I never saw Creed, but I actually loved the Black Panther film. It had so much culture in it. And I don't know much about the director. That's all I know about him, and I know that it seems like from what I heard around when Black Panther came out, he was very up into his racist culture and the background behind it, and you can really feel that in here. Um, and I don't feel, in my opinion, doesn't feel forced in any way, which, you know, it is what it is. It was. I would still enjoy it personally, but I'm not kind of one of those petty persons that have problems. But anyways, we're not going to get any further than that. But in the meantime, please leave your comments down below. Please keep them on topic, keep them respectful. Remember, I love you all. Please stay safe. Spread love, most importantly. Skull.